Hello, and welcome to my Bible Journal Flip Through Part 1. This is my Bible Journal. I got it last year. This first entry, I copied like a poster thing off Pinterest, and it's talking about how God uses people who are not able to help themselves or have very huge problems. I got drunk. I circled insecure, unrelated, worrying, doubting, patient, moody. Oh, this one, Lazarus was dead. I just find that kind of funny. So, this was actually one of my first entries. I wrote this quote by Louis Giglio. God is not intimidated by the odds. He's like, dude, I've made galaxies. And I drew each day, and I made like this sticker. This was done with watercolor. Was also inspired off of online. This is Satan. It's a snake. This was inspired off of a She Reads Truth devotional. You are dust, and to dust you shall return. Christ follower, rest in peace, or self follower, rest in peace. This is just Enoch walked with God. This next one I wrote as a prayer for my friend who wasn't wanting to follow God, and I was just praying that God would open up her eyes to see how He is good. Okay. This next one is I started going through 1 Samuel. Pour out your soul before the Lord. How do you respond when you don't receive the desires of your heart? This woman holding her child. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. And I just, with this colored pencil, I colored on some important words. And this is, the Lord is a God of knowledge. By Him actions are weighed. This was kind of inspired off of old illuminated Bibles with like the edges. And this was pointillism. And I did this one took forever. I did a bunch of dots. And this is just Dagon fell face first before the ark of the Lord. This is in colored pencil. This also is in colored pencil. This, I covered the back with some off-white paint so this pen wouldn't bleed through it. The paint was acrylic paint, but I didn't do the words. If you were in person, you could probably see the color difference. You can see it more drastically on this, and I also mixed some glitter with the paint this time. This is Saul being anointed. This was done in gel pen. I decorated the corners, drew heart in a heart shape. This next one, this is just a genealogy, that's why I'm on the page so much. And I just drew some lines of different colors, and I wrote, remember the wondrous works that He has done, from 1 Chronicles 16:12, which is later in this book. This entry was done by my niece and nephew. I let them just paint. Caleb just carefully did this. I will just draw stuff on. Caleb wrote his name here. I wrote his name here too. And I wrote Isla's name. And I wrote, God works in the mess. Because God does work in the mess of our lives. This is Job with the dinosaurs. And I just love these stickers, so I added the stickers with this. And here begins Psalms. This was my first entry, but I added watercolor in the back later along with the Psalms thing. What is man that you are mindful of him? This is a castle. Hide not your face forget not the afflicted. I heard this song that said, "My times are in your hands. I know I may not understand, but I'll trust in you." And then I found the verse that said, "My times are in your hand." I'm like, I have to do that because I love that song. This is just God's love in the heavens, which actually applied to this verse, so I pointed. And this is Psalm 37, a favorite psalm. Trust in the Lord and do good. This was done with colored pencils. This I made recently. I cut out a piece of construction paper to be a cloud. And yeah. This is Psalm 51. Create in me a clean heart, O God. And it's supposed to be like, have you seen those Coke commercials where they're like, the screen fills with Coke? I wanted it to look kind of like that. So it's like the screen's filling with water and this blood's being washed away. This is Psalm 91. It's very minimalistic, but I really love this one. This was actually dedicated to my grandmother who recently deceased, and at her service they gave out these red crayons, so I taped them in here and used this verse. This is a verse that's a large part of my testimony, where I started to realize that God did love me. It's pretty minimalistic. This is also a favorite verse of mine. This is God sewing our hearts together. This is another early entry. This was before this song got super popular. Lauren Daigle's Trust in You. This is Guard Your Heart. This is just some ants, because go to the ant, O sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise. I like that verse. This is Ecclesiastes, talking about how nothing in life gives us meaning and fills us up except God does. This is talking about, let us go to the mountain of the Lord. This was December 31st of 2015. Pray to the Lord your God for us, that the Lord may show us the way to go and which way to do. And I made like a road in between the verses and like, this way or that way. This is Skillet's song. I just used the silver and gold colored pencils and did some stars around the verses that applied. This was my first book to journal all the way through with Habakkuk. It's kind of minimalistic and all over the place. Like, I didn't put much thought into these, which I'm kind of sad about, but I was doing stuff that was important to me at the time. I actually redid this one. It originally was crayon colored in the background, but I thought it looked really lame. So I covered it with that white paint and some pink on this side, and I wrote this, "Righteous shall live by faith" again, and I wrote this quote by Charles Spurgeon. You can see how there was the crayon on this side, but on the other side it was like lines instead of squiggles. And then I wrote this verse. This is one of my favorite parts of the book. I just drew all these things from the verse and accidentally covered the verse with this letters or the paint, so I made this, I wrote the words out from the verse. And this one is talking about a guy praising God even though things are going horribly, and I wrote in German, "I am hungry." I still think that's kind of funny. This is my best friend and her younger sister, who is also a close friend, and this verse is one of their favorite verses. So when I did it, I thought I had to do them with it because it's their life verse. The Lord your God is in your midst, a mighty one who will save. He will rejoice over you with gladness. He will quiet you with his love. And I said, sing aloud, O daughter of Zion, which I really liked that. And plus, I started a band, which is called Children of Zion. Sadly, that band's not going on at the moment. And this is the end of the Old Testament. Woo! Oh, there's this. A lady gave that to me at my church. If you have any questions about specific entries, I can go into them on more detail. And thank you for watching this flip through video of my Bible, and I hope you enjoyed it.